Hello, everybody. It's Larry the GM. I am recording this and we'll post on YouTube, and then we'll put the link to this in the in this article. Basically, I just wanted to describe what's going on with uh, well, my projection for the AL Wild Card round, the 12 pitchers I expect. Now, I did address why I think it's 12 pitchers. You can see that in the article linked right here. I go through the number of um, pitchers that were on the wild card rosters for all the teams, all 8 teams in both 2022 and 2023 that were in their respective wild card. And you'll see from that is there were even a couple teams of the 16 that used 11 pitchers in the wild card round. There were 3 that used 16, and the rest, I guess that would be 11, or used 12 pitchers. So that's why I think there's going to be 12 pitchers. That's been normal for the Astros. They'll go to 13 when they're winning if they get to a 7-game series. So let's talk about who the 12 pitchers are. And yeah, I'm sure you guys may have your own opinions on this. I'll show you why I have my opinion with with the data table, but the what I expect is the Astros will carry obviously the pitchers are going to start the 3 games: game 1, game 2, game 3. Valdez, Kikuchi, Brown. Then they're going to have Eric Getty available to be a starter just in case one of those guys wakes up with a stiff neck or whatever. And so Eric Getty will be available. Obviously, he's not going to be a starter for any of those games, I don't think. And assuming he doesn't need to be used as a starter in any of the games, then I suspect he will be available as a long reliever for those games. So that's the way I have it laid out. Um, for the quote starters. Then the relievers are going to be Hader, Presley, Abreu, King, Neris, Ferguson, and then Blanco and Verlander. I think they will have Verlander on the roster. I'll show you why in a minute. Um, but Verlander and actually this should be. I'm sorry, guys. No. Verlander and Blanco will be available for 3 innings if needed, plus 3 innings plus if needed. The final decision in this, the 2 pitchers that will come down to what I would call the bubble, will be Verlander and Ort. And you may think Larry Ort's been great. Well, we'll get to that in a second. These are the 2 that are on the bubble. Ort, while his ERA has been really, really good, guys, and you that follow me on the site know I'm not always a big believer in ERA. So his ERA has been 2.55, but his FIP has been 5.23 this season, and that's because he's had a BABIP of 161. That's unsustainably low. The issue with start relief pitchers is often sample size. So you need to understand what the whole pitcher is telling you. Now, the challenge for Verlander in this discussion is, well, you're already saying we're going to have Arrighetti, and you're going to have Blanco. Why do we need a third starting pitcher? And that's a fair assessment of the situation. I think there may be a little bit of a. I didn't say it in this article, but there may be a political factor also about putting Verlander in. We're talking about the 12th pitcher, and guys, if you go through it, I don't. I think the Astros should use 9, maybe 10 pitchers maximum. It doesn't who the 11th and 12th pitcher on the roster should be fairly irrelevant. So that's just my opinion. All right, so here's my data snapshot table. I'll give you the blown up version on the video so you can see that. You can see the data better. And what I've done in this table is I provided the FIP data, the FIP minus data, which corrects to the ballpark. 100 is average. Then I've given you the ex-WOBA platoon split. And then I also did the similar data the FIP and the FIP minus since August 1st. So that works out to being the pitchers that we traded for. How did they do as Astros? And then you know what and what you see here is Kikuchi's been significantly better as an Astro. He went from an 84 FIP minus to a 75, and Caleb Ferguson went from a 90 FIP minus down to a 70. I mean, I keep saying this on Twitter. No one listens to me. I don't, hear me now, listen to me later. Caleb Ferguson has been one of the best relief pitchers since he's arrived with the Astros. And you can say that's not what my eyes tell me. I'm telling you that's what the advanced metrics are telling you. His FIP minus is a 70. And so and his FIP is a 2.88. So what also provided is the number of innings they've pitched since August. So what's interesting when you look at all this data, the Astros as a pitching staff had a 4.04 FIP so far this season. 3 more games. I'm almost tempted to say the first 159 are more relevant as like true talent level, because guys, these next 3 games, I'm not even sure. There may be the last game of the season may be a bullpen game, just to make sure everybody's staged up for game 1. And you may have a couple inning starter and then pull him, and that therefore he's ready in a couple days if needed. 4.04 FIP and then 100 FIP minus means basically dead solid average. Now, guys, the team obviously was terrible early and has been good for a while. In fact, if you look at what I did here is I looked at the 12 pitchers that I project, weighted them on the number of innings pitched that they've pitched since August, and that you take the FIP of that, you get the weighted FIP of that is 3.27. Guys, that's a FIP minus of 80. That's a great pitching staff. That's by my grading system, that's an A. So when we talk about the pitching staff, and I know the pitching staff, everybody would agree the pitching staff's been really good. But when we talk about how we set up for the postseason with this pitching staff, I think it's even better than most people and most talking heads will really talk about it. This is an A-level pitching staff when you talk about the 12 pitchers that should be on the roster for the postseason. And so, and I gave you my distribution of the what I think the innings will be, and some roles and considerations there. All right, so that's all the data that's in that table. And I talked through that. So that's really what I want to talk to you guys. This pitching staff, I think it's staged to be really, really good for the season. Really will be interesting to see how we do. Brian King really well. The thing about Caleb Ward, so why no Caleb Ward? Like I said, you look at these numbers even in August, they've been worse than those full season numbers from a FIP standpoint. So a little bit I have a pretty big concern about, Caleb Ward being on a postseason roster. Taylor Scott's been even worse. Taylor Scott's currently on the IL with back issues. I don't think that he'll be a consideration for the roster. So there you go. That's my projection. That's who I think is going to be on the pitching staff. Leave comments on the video and let me know what you think. Hey, if you watched the video, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so, and that way you'll get the content and ad. The way that the website's going to work now is there's going to be more video content, less writing. So you may get a shorter written article, and you'll get this will be about a 9.5 minute video attached to it. All right, guys, take care. Have a good night, and we'll see how we do the rest of the season and into the postseason. I will have another article talking about the lineup, working on that.